One day after losing poorly to the Lakers, they dropped another one last night to the Clippers. To make matters worse, it's the Knicks' second game in a row they had issues taking care of the basketball, committing 20 turnovers and allowing 24 points off of those turnovers. Here's Stephen A. last night in his feelings on X. He said, quote, I'm going to leave out the bleep, disgusted right now watching my Knicks. I wish I could impersonate you better. Watching them down late in the fourth. I just saw them commit 3 turnovers in their last 4 possessions. Another loss is coming. And he was right. It was a loss to the Clippers, and it wasn't a pretty one. Do you think the Knicks are closer to winning a championship or to becoming playoff irrelevant?
Playoff irrelevant? Well, yeah, you can't even ask me that, Jay. Of course it's playoff irrelevant. That's what they the key word here is closer. Am I saying it's going to happen? No, I'm going to hold out belief in my New York Knicks, okay? I'm going to hold out belief in my New York Knicks. But I'm very thoroughly disgusted. Perk, Vinny, y'all going to have to forgive your brother. Forgive your big bro, your big older bro here. I watched the Knicks last night, and I see this team. 39 turnovers over their 2 losses in L.A. 39 turnovers in 2 games. Outscored 45-24 in points off turnovers. And Benedict Mathurin, who, by the way, I like him. Mm-hmm. He can ball, and I'm glad he's in L.A. instead of Indiana any longer. And, oh, by the way, he's done some good work on TV. We going to have him on here once they lose. Once they lose, they'll lose early. He can come on the first day. Here's the point that I'm trying to make to you, okay? It's going to happen. He's going to lose. They're going to lose, okay? Let's just get that out the way. It's just the truth. It's just the truth, y'all. It's just the truth, okay? Here's the deal, y'all. He had 28 points. The entire Knicks bench scored 14. Benedict Mathurin outscored the entire Knicks bench last night. And the Knicks bench shot 25% from the field. But that is not why I'm angry. Because I want my man Vinny and my man Big Perk on this Tuesday morning to rein your brother in. I'll openly admit, y'all gonna have to rein me in. Because there's one individual, and I'm gonna use this word, and I apologize, but he has pissed me off. That is Mikal Bridges. I am not happy right now. And somebody got to call this brother out, so I'm going to do it. Do y'all know he scored 16 points over the last 3 games?
He had 0, I know.
A total of 16 points. Yo, bro. They've given up 4 first-round picks for you. I mean, enough, okay? What are you doing? What purpose are you serving, Mikal Bridges? I mean, somebody got to call him out. Enough of the honeymoon, okay? We appreciate the hard work. We appreciate the fact that you're always there. You show up to work, you understand, but most of the time, you ain't engaging in no load management. We heard you complain about Tom Thibodeau, okay? So that bad enough they gave up the picks for you. They gave you $150 million. $150 million. $150 million, Big Perk. $150 million, okay? Not only did they do that, okay, but then on top of it all, with all of that being said, we still get reminded that you played the role in Tom Thibodeau being gone. I'm not saying you asked for him to leave or anything like that. I'm not being irresponsible like that. I'm saying we remember the complaints you had last year about him. Working y'all a little bit too much, needing to use the bench more, giving y'all, spelling for y'all a little bit. Well, damn it, what you doing now? Mike Brown ain't causing that problem. You know, you getting some rest or whatever. 16 points in 3 games, bro. That's an average a little over 5 points a game. That's why they getting you $150 million? That's why 4 first-round picks unprotected is going because of you. That's why we don't have Giannis. That's why we don't have Dante DiVincenzo. That's why. Yo, what's up? Mikal Bridges, it's time to step up consistently. I'm not talking about showing up on a Friday night and then disappearing for the weekend and showing up on a Tuesday night and then disappearing until Friday and then showing up on Sunday. Damn that. Consistency. You ain't doing it, bro. You ain't doing it. New York Knicks. Cleveland's not going away. Boston is coming. Detroit's already here. Yo. Somebody needs to say it. Mikal Bridges, it's unacceptable, bro. It's unacceptable. 16 points in 3 games. Perk, you can average 5 points.
He was also benched at the end of last night, wasn't he? I believe he was benched at the end of last night's game.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead,
SA
I wish I could come on here and convince you about the New York Knicks, but I don't trust them. Because offense is going to win you games through the regular season. But we're talking about defensively, you have to lock in order to win a championship. And I don't trust them, especially on the perimeter. You bring up Mikal Bridges. Do you realize about 3 years ago when he was in Phoenix, we were talking about this young man as being arguably the best perimeter defender in the league, or one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA? When you talk about OG Anunoby, we was talking about why Toronto got so much from the Knicks when they traded for him, like for his picks as well, because he's the ultimate 3-and-D guy. Where in the hell have they been? We're talking about the most important position in the NBA when it comes to winning the NBA championship. You need perimeter defenders. You need wings. I'm not talking about from Wingstop. And so when you think about these last two games, not only did Ben Mathurin and Kawhi Leonard have it their way last night, but Luka Doncic tore their ass up a few nights ago. And so when you talk about consistency, and you talk about bringing up Tom Thibodeau and Mike Brown, the difference, Tom Thibodeau is going to get the dog out of you every single night on the defensive side of things. That's all they need from Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby. I have to tip my hat to Karl Anthony Towns, because over the last 2 months, he has been a star in his role. He has been better defensively. He has been cleaning the glass like a fresh bottle of Windex. But Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby needs to get back to who they used to be. Stop worrying about offense so damn much and lock in defensively and start getting the job done. This is why I don't trust the Knicks. Offensively, they have enough offensive firepower. They're going to win games. They're going to win a playoff series or two. But defensively, it's been too much up and down throughout the course of this season. Is the reason I don't have them pick winning the Eastern Conference, and I should, because I still believe they have the deepest roster in the East to make it out of the
Could have fooled me.
Vince, go ahead.
Stephen A., are you okay? Do we need to attach an EKG?
Let me ask you a question, Vinny. Vinny, would you be
okay?
Would you be okay? Would you be okay if your favorite team gave up 4 unprotected first-round picks for a non-All-Star player who's not playing, who's playing like a non-All-Star? Would you be okay with that?
Oh, I understand your frustration, Stephen A. I'm just checking in on my friend. That's all. I just want to make sure
I'm in good health,
that
bro.
your health is okay. I want you to be able to be Brick the next appearance on General Hospital. I don't want you to be so wound up.
That's coming.
So wound up in March. Stephen A., the season is fluid. It's still happening. It's fluid. And it's a weekend in Los Angeles. Give the boys a break, Stephen A. This is the first time they've seen sunlight in about 2.5 months. Relax. But honestly, guys, the East is flawed. Okay? The East is flawed. Every team in the Eastern Conference has a flaw that's going to make them lose in the second round of the playoffs. Boston has their issues. Cleveland has their issues. We are seeing Detroit's issues pop up in real time right now. New York's issues with Mikal Bridges and maybe his lack of physicality and maybe not being as present throughout the course of a game. Sometimes you don't know that he's out there. We knew that coming into the season. And you were still saying the New York Knicks were going to go to the NBA Finals. What did you think was going to happen? These guys are who they are. I know it's easy to fall in love with how they played this weekend. Stephen, I'm going to tell you this. I told you this yesterday. Perk, you didn't hear it.
Thank you.
Perk, the Knicks are the best defense in the NBA from January 15th to now. That's an almost 2-month sample size. They had a bad weekend in LA. I grant you that. But if you're going to take on an 8-week period during the regular season, like you said, Karl Anthony Towns, defending better, Mitchell Robinson, not missing games that aren't planned for him to miss, Jalen Brunson actually trying on defense. I'm not saying they're going to the finals. I'm saying whatever concerns you've had about them, this is who they are.
Wow.
They are as inconsistent as any other top team in the Eastern Conference. No need to overreact.
Okay, I disagree with you. I'm gonna tell you why I'm not overreacting. You see, this is what I don't like about people that ain't from New York. This is what I don't like. This is what I don't like about Mr. Beaumont, Texas over there acting like he's a diehard Knicks fan. He's the second coming to Spike Lee and stuff like that. This is what I don't like about Vinny, who's Detroit all day, every day, taking these positions. The New York Knicks haven't been to the finals since 1999. And at the rate they're going right now, they ain't going back to the finals before 2049. This is what we're talking about right here. We're not understanding the severity of this moment. The New York Knicks coming into this season, I had going to the NBA Finals because Tatum was supposed to be out for the year with the Achilles tear. Damian Lillard was out with the Achilles tear, and he wasn't going to be in Milwaukee. And Tyrese Halliburton, who had taken him out in back-to-back years, was out with an Achilles tear. So I'm looking at a depleted Eastern Conference. Orlando wasn't ready. Atlanta wasn't ready. Miami's good, but I'm not thinking they'll beat the Knicks. I'm saying this is your shot. And what happens? Boston is led by Jaylen Brown. They ain't drop off a little bit. Detroit has ascended. Jason Tatum has returned like 200 days early.
At least the Pacers
about
are bad.
200 days early, okay?
Get rid of the
All we
Pacers.
can say is that the Pacers are bad, okay?
Yeah.
And, oh, by the way, the Knicks lost to the Pacers. Last time the Pacers was at the Garden. Okay, so we got that going on. And I'm saying, damn, right? Now, I'm thinking, okay, well, you, Mikal Bridges, you hearing this noise, and you know that, we had a chance to get Giannis. And no, we didn't have those picks to offer. So obviously that derailed our aspirations, and I get that part. And you respond by having 16 points in 3 games? And y'all in L.A., you in L.A. Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night. I got it. You understand? But you know what? I watched LeBron and D-Wade and those brothers win back-to-back championships and go to 4 straight finals in Miami. That's a distraction. Trust me. It's a lot of distractions in Miami. There are stuff to derail your focus. But nevertheless, they got it done. I watched Kobe and Shaq win in L.A., Tinseltown. There's a lot of distractions in Southern California. A whole lot. Did it derail them? You understand? So I'm looking at stuff like that. And I'm saying, how come you can't be focused representing New York?
I thought it was daylight savings and the time change.
It's like,
so
what's up with
today?
that? What's up with that? I expect.
Are we talking about Shaq and Kobe? Are we talking about Karl Towns and Jalen Brunson?
No.
There's
What
a
I'm
difference
saying,
there, Stephen A.
I understand that. What I'm talking about focus. I'm talking about focus. In other words, the same level of performance and efficiency that you put forth in most other places, you're supposed to put forth there too. You're supposed to do that. You understand? And they ain't doing it. I'm very concerned. I'm very disturbed. I am not happy at all. And Mikal Bridges, listen, we know the brother can play. He's not a scrub. He's worth the $150 million. He ain't worth the 4 unprotected first-round picks until he shows us otherwise. He hasn't shown us that yet, and he needs to. I'm sick and tired of these unbalanced fall-away threes that don't go in. Damn it, do something about it. Do something, bro. You got to play better than that. I need more from Mikal Bridges. And I don't want to hear from Jalen Brunson or anybody. Listen, go do your damn podcast. Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. I'm supposed to be a guest on there. You might want to postpone that appearance.